What's up, guys? Good morning. It is Jonathan with One Big Impact, and today is a long overdue video of and all about macros for beginners. So we're probably going to do this video in about 3 different parts. The reason for that is because there's a lot of information. It can really get overwhelming, and I don't want to confuse anybody. The videos that I had watched when I was learning about macros were completely way over my head, and there was absolutely no way to follow, and it took me a really long time to grasp and understand everything about macros. So without further ado, this is a challenge video. Welcome. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment on our channel. Have a beautiful day, and let's get started. Okay, so the first question that many people are going to ask is, what are macros? So first of all, we'll put up macros. It's this little word, macro, that can be really confusing for so many people and quite overwhelming. What macros are macronutrients, okay? I'm not a nutritionist. Let's get that the hell out of the way real quick. Macronutrients. You have macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are going to be the following 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Protein, fat, carbs, and alcohol. I don't even know if I spelled that right. Definitely think that's wrong. How do I not know how to spell alcohol? Okay, so these are your body's fuel sources. To touch on it really quick, micronutrients would be like vitamins, minerals, and things like that. So, macronutrients, okay? Now, right away, you're probably like, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed out, I don't know what Jonathan's gonna go into. Okay, so we're just gonna break it down really super slow, okay? Every one of these has an energy quantity, okay? Every single one. Meaning, per gram, protein, for 1 gram of protein, like a weight of a gram is going to be 4 calories. 4 calories, and we'll say calories equals 1 gram, okay? The next one that will also be 4 is carbohydrates. Calories, 4 calories equals 1 gram. Fat, on the other hand, will be 9, pretty high. 9 calories equals 1 gram in weight. The most confusing thing for me when I was doing this, one second, I don't ever use alcohol, but I did write it down. I believe it is 7. I don't have it written down. I believe it's 7 calories equals 1 gram. The only reason that we need to write that down, in my mind, and we can literally wipe this alcohol one off, is because you need to understand, if you're consuming alcohol, your body's going to burn that as an energy fuel source. So don't think, I can go get wasted, I'm gonna wake up and I'm still losing fat. Your body has to burn off that alcohol just like any of the other macronutrients. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that one off for a couple reasons. The first reason is because if you're working on trying to reach your goals, you're probably not going to be thinking or incorporating alcohol within your macronutrient ratio, hopefully. So we have protein, carbohydrates, and fat. I just put this up in the corner. Protein is 4 calories per gram, carbs is 4 calories per gram, and fat is 9 calories per gram. That's just going to stay up in here as like a little key, okay? The first thing that you're probably going to think is, how does this distribute into a meal plan? Okay, Now, we're not talking about Atkins, we're not talking about low carb, we're not talking about keto, we're not talking about cutting, we're not talking about bulking. We're not talking about any of that right now, okay? We're just talking about how does this factor into a regular USDA, United States Drug Administration type diet, okay? The first thing that I recommend, and now, as far as the recommendations for USDA, 45 to 65% carb, 10 to 35 with protein. And the last one is 30 to 35 of that. This is the standard according to the government, okay? That's the standard right there. You see it? Now, obviously, if you have 65, clearly I can't add, 65 plus 35 plus 35, I mean, right away you can see that's 100, and then you have 35 left. So obviously, whatever range, so if you are going to be somebody that, I really don't want to get into specifics yet, but meaning if you're at 45%, maybe you could be at 35, but if you're at 45 and 35, maybe you'd be at 20. So obviously you need to end up with a total of like 100% rather than way high. So, because it just wouldn't work. So if you're high on carbs, you want to be a little bit lower on fat. Now, for a general rule of thumb, as far as protein is concerned, usually the industry standard, whether it's bodybuilding, no matter what, pretty much what it is in any part of the fitness industry, is going to be protein is 1 pound of body weight equals 1 gram of protein. If John is 200 pounds, he's definitely more than that, then he gets 200 grams of protein. My personal opinion is probably a little bit less is sufficient. The reason I say that is because if you go too high on protein, then you have this thing called gluconeogenesis, and we've talked about that. And it's with when pretty much you consume any or too much protein or pretty much anything too much, then it will eventually transform into a sugar and be stored as fat. So you don't want that. So I just realized we might be able to cover most of everything in this video, but you will have additional questions. Somebody out there is going to have an additional question, and that's perfectly fine. I will go further into information as far as if I want to do like macros for different things or helping you understand. I've really wanted to do a macro video for a really long time because it is probably one of the single most difficult things to understand for everybody. So now, bear with me, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm in the gym all alone, so I apologize, I'm still kind of tired. Now, you're going to have a couple things that we talked about previously, 45 to 65% of carbs, 10 to 35% of protein, and 20 to 35% of fat within your diet, okay? So, try to eliminate this out of your mind just momentarily. You can look up those amounts later, okay? You can look any of those up anytime you want. This is what we're going to focus on. This is our sample, John. John needs 2,000 calories a day to maintain, or let's say he needs 2,000 calories a day to lose weight. So right away, you're going to notice that some percentages changed, okay? So first of all, you're going to have 200 grams of protein because Jonathan weighs, and I should have put that, he weighs 200 pounds, okay? 200 pounds equals 1 gram per pound. So it's 1 gram of protein on a scale weighing protein per pound of body weight. And that equals 4 calories each. Now, if I need to go back and talk about anything and switch it, please let me know, because I really want this to be clear. I don't want to add more confusion to anything, okay? That's why I'm trying to go slow and talk about it nice and easy. Protein, he's got 200 grams. That equals 200 times, you remember, 4 calories. So 200, or 2 times 4, equals 800 calories. The reason I do protein first is because then you get it out of the way. So you're not really doing a percentage, you're getting that 1 gram per pound of body weight out of the way. That's your calories taken for protein, then you can move forward. The next thing that I like to do is your preferred energy source. Now I say that because, and let me touch on this just a little bit without adding more mess to the confusion. Your body has 2 sources of energy. If you're Atkins, low carb, or anything like that, your body is going to naturally be using fat as its preferred energy source because you are depleted from carbohydrates. Now, on the reverse, maybe you're into bodybuilding and you are using carbohydrates as your preferred body's fuel source. Meaning, did you notice fuel source? You have to pick one, okay? You can't have high carbs and high fat because you'll just get fat. If you have 2 energy fuel sources, your body is not sufficient enough to be able to, or efficient enough to be able to burn off both of those energy fuel sources. If one is high, one needs to be low. If the other one is high, the other one needs to be low. So you're basically figuring out a balance. Now I would say don't go too low with fats and stuff like that because it's hormone regulation and everything. So really don't go super crazy low on that. So remember, we have 800 calories. Out of 2,000, that leaves us with 1,200 left to allot throughout carbs and fat. The next immediate thing that I do is USDA says 45 to 65% carbs. If my body is an endomorph, okay, I'm an endomorph, or anybody that's kind of trying to lose weight, 45 to 65% of carbohydrates is generally speaking going to be too high for weight loss. Okay, so we definitely had to move outside. A couple trainers came in and it's like 4 or 5 in the morning now. So I definitely had to get out of the way and be respectful to their training their clients. So let's finish up. I'm in the parking lot right next to my car, actually. So you have the initial 200 grams, then you have 800 calories, okay? So realistically, you got 1,200 left, okay? And if you're trying to lose weight, like I was saying, 45 to 65% carbohydrates is not gonna work. So personally, I like to drop down to about 25% and go from there. So 25% of 2,000 is going to be 500 calories. So 500 calories divided by that 4 per gram equals 125 grams, 25% of 2,000, okay? So you have your 125 grams of carbohydrates, you have, which is going to be your preferred energy fuel source. Just saying that as a guideline, like anybody, okay? I would always say if you're trying to cut, probably stay kind of high on carbohydrates as long as you can. Then you have like a chipping tool, so you can slowly chip away at those and then slowly raise your fats. Now we'll talk about that in a future video. If you're trying to understand more about that, that's fine. But 125 grams of carbs equals 500 calories. Plus your 200 grams of protein equals 800. 800 and 500 is 1,300. That means I have 700 calories left to equal my deficit of 2,000 calories. By the way, speaking generally, you want to be in a deficit. So this is kind of like, say my BMR 2250 to stay the same, okay? That's maintenance calories. This is weight loss calories. Now I'm going to drop myself down by 250 to equal that. Then the additional 250, because I want to be in a 500 calorie deficit each day, will come through exercise, okay? So just to understand kind of what's going on here as far as weight loss is concerned. So I have 700 calories left. I'm gonna add in my fat, that's it. So 700 calories, 700 divided by 9 equals 77. I have 77 grams of calories, or 77 grams of fat left to add in. So my macros are going to be here. Now remember, this is just an example. This is not a real person. This is just kind of understanding how it's broken up. So my protein, fat, carbs. Okay? Protein, 200, fat, 77, carbs, 125. Okay? That's going to be my 2,000 calories. That's it. I hope that you understood that. I'm really trying to go as slow as I possibly can. Obviously, with the scenario of being outside kind of sucks. But I'm trying to make it like, how do I say this without being rude? Macros for dummies. Like, because I'm a dummy. Like, you're a dummy. We're all dummies when we don't know. We're ignorant. And that's good. When you think you know something, but you're not able to understand and manipulate it, then you're fighting yourself. Pretend you're brand new all the time. Always be willing and open to learn, because I promise you it's going to be massively helpful when you open your mind to learning new things. Macros can be slightly confusing. I feel like I gave it a good, solid, very slow approach to help understand it. So if I didn't, please make sure you make sure you let me know. And if you want to cover anything else as far as macros, please let me know. By the way, this will probably be the last video with this arm naked. I'm going today to get a tattoo from here to here. Not that that matters, but just letting you know. So you can see, just to touch on a couple things. High energy. This is going to be my fuel source. This one is lower. This one is going to stay the same. As you become more conditioned and you become maybe a bodybuilder or something like that, that could potentially go up. But it's usually going to stay the same. These two will go up and down depending on what goals you're trying to reach. Explanation really quick. If you're trying to lean out, your carbs will go down. Your fat, normally, not 99% of the time, your fat will go up. So your fat will be your preferred energy fuel source. If you're an endomorph and you tend to hold on to a high percentage of body fat, then you're probably going to want to go higher with the fat, lower with the carbs. But remember, try to go slow. You know, depending on where you're at on your journey, maybe you're bodybuilding, maybe you're new to this, maybe you want to gain weight. If you're a hard gainer, somebody that wants to gain muscle, your freaking carbs are going to be through the roof because you want to be putting on weight. But weight loss would be the direct opposite. So that's everything. I hope you guys liked our video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I apologize, there's a freeway in the background, but this is a challenge video. If you're new here, please check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. Have a beautiful day. Like the shirt says, be stronger than your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. If you're looking for a meal plan, definitely let me know. I have 4 options available. Message me. I have bracelets available, and we are in the middle of the awesome challenge. Also, by the way, just to kind of touch on it possibly, I'm thinking about a future challenge. Maybe a trip to Europe. Who knows? Have a good day, guys. Like I said, remember to spread love, not hate.
drink your damn water.